Hello, welcome to this new video. In today's video, we are in Kuala Lumpur, so in Malaysia, and we are heading to a couple of different factories. So we are bringing clients from the US and they are actually into the prototyping business. So they have a facility center over there to help bring products from the idea to the reality. So they are going to do some type of a small scale prototyping, and then they are looking at Malaysia as a place for outsourced manufacturing mostly, so looking at enriching the current network of suppliers here in the region. We have started 2 years ago already with Vietnam with factory visits, and then this year we are getting more complicated products that require Malaysian capabilities, so more high-end type of product within the higher value chain. So we can think about semiconductor, electronics, automations, things like that. So we are bringing them 9 to 10 meetings this week, and we have the agenda pretty packed. So we're going to visit different type of factories in all of those sectors, and then hopefully we can review some of them so you can follow us the entire trip.
So we do all kinds of printer rollers, from platen rollers, stick rollers, plastic rollers, and coating rollers. Besides that, our machines also able to do rubber and glass components.
In terms of the export market between US and Europe, what is usually the ratio?
I think US more. For export markets, US is the biggest portions, 70-80%.
For the medical and also for the automotive parts? Automotive machine? Okay. And the rubber will be coming from Asia?
Automotive, LCAM, but most of the product is custom spec in YouTube. So we just an OEM to produce a part.
Usually for our products, customer already spec in the materials we will source for the materials. But it is not spec in, we will propose an equivalent grades with our behalf partners. So we will send data sheets for your approvals. So after you review your approval, and we will select materials.
So we supply sample for validation. They're saying that only will supply sample to our customer, they validate and approve our product before we go for mass production here.
And in France, do you have any clients? Suppliers, okay. And so far we've been working a lot with Vietnamese manufacturers, right? But we do have sometimes inquiries that it doesn't match with what Vietnam can provide at the moment. And very often it can be linked to certificates. For instance, for automotive industry, it's quite limited in Vietnam, and sometimes the MOQ could be too high, or sometimes there are not just enough players there. I would count like 2 or 3 that we know, but it's quite limited. It's good to know that you have capabilities and then you've been existing for a long time. So in case we have inquiries that we cannot match with what Vietnam can provide, we can definitely pass it to you.
Yeah, because under our group, we also have a lot of different kind of divisions and different kind of products. So as you can see, we are technical product divisions. So on personal interface, they are doing rubbers, extrusions, and rubber molded in the
Mainly for automotive rubber bushing.
Personal industry, Haiphong is doing imitates, and Doshimi Rubbers is doing the anti-vibrations for buildings,
And silencer for building, for reach. And also the wrist joint.
Our biggest business is our medical gloves.
And the connectors, are they made in Malaysia or no? No, they're imported from this.
Portuguese, but imported. For connectors, mainly we use is very popular in quick connectors. So they have a lot of plants like in China, in India.
Where do your workers come from?
Bangladesh, Nepal, and Myanmar. We had occasions to handle all this. And actually, as what I mentioned, we are compliant with our social compliances. So we come in with 0 cost.
The system for foreign workers and housing is better than the USA. We have the same problem where people don't want to do the heavy work, right? But also we don't have the organization from government side to coordinate paperwork. Factors don't like to provide housing. How long do your workers stay? They here for months or they here for years?
Average 3 years. Yeah.
After 10 years, they need to go and reapply again. If government approves, then they get to extend another 3 years. During the 10 years durations, we need to renew the application every year to the maximum period of 10 years.
Do they leave? Do they go back to their homeland?
They will go back for one month, a month or 2 months like that.
For Chinese New Year, you won't be stopping for like 10 days. No,
They only
just 2 days.
Chinese New Year, we have 2 days holidays, and then even for Malay New Year's, we also 2 days. We will have a long break in a year.
So do you work just during the day or all 24 hours?
Depends on departments. Some departments is 24 hours, and most of our department is only one shift.
The ranges of products and then the end customers with the volume that you also expect, let's say like 200,000 for Dyson. So it's quite impressive capacity.
So actually for capacity wise, we still have quite a big space of formats.
Are you expecting back setups?
And we were facing the same. In Vietnam, right? The quantity is reduced. The orders still there. But
Our client also revisited orders. Okay, this year we planned 15 containers and finally it's like 10, 12 containers. So we also see a bit of slowdown in terms of the final. They are still there. They are still in business and they still have good sales, but we don't have the same traction or growth that used to be there. When we consider OEM, do you have any type of MOQ? Let's say plastic parts or silicon parts. Is it like 10,000 pieces or
Not necessary. Actually, we do small volumes as well, but as well. The price definitely will be competitive, and also depends on your product requirements. If you already spec in the materials, which is not common to us, then usually our MOQ will follow the materials MOQ.
yeah, our supplier, they sell us the material based on MOQs. How we need to discuss and negotiate with the supplier customer.
Basically, we are manufacturing injection mold that our customer will provide first the drawing or 3D data, then we'll design the mold, and then with the fabrication of the tools, the mold, and then we do the tryout in our machine, our facility, and then our customer will attend together to witness the tool is running well, and the produce on our sample, and then we will sell it to our customer.
Our organization total employee about 118 members. So we have admin staff, we have production department, project department. We have project team, dedicated support for like our project scheduling, tool trial. Here we have our QC team and injection section. Upon tool completion, we will conduct tool trial in-house. We have our mold maker section in production floor and machining section. We escort to like Germany, Philippines, US, small portion south of overseas market. We do involves in automotive industry, electronics and electrical. We do have home appliances like Dyson, and the IKEA we do have the air purifier, aircon packs, and some of medical products as well. Initial, we do have introduction, cooperation at quality stage. Once the project confirmed, we do have proceed to cut steel, prepare mold design, programming, or machinery bi-weekly. We will do update on the tool progress to customer, submit if the plan chart. And machinery fabrication, this one we do the all in-house. We have full range of machinery in-house. Most of customer will join us the mold trial in our factory. When the mold complete, they will join together to with the sample. What we do have the QC department for the customer. They will ask us to do some measuring report for the product. So we have 2 floor here. This is a mold design section. And they have another floor is for programmer. They have about 50-55 session in our design floor. We use this Labili graphic. In production machining, we running 24 hours, 7 days. Besides the new mold fabrication, some more maintenance service, more modification that we also support to our customer. In-house facilities, this is the machining equipment in our production. Laser engraving for mold engraving.
We have to have the ISO certification for automotive and also make the molds.
Not necessarily to have it, but our customer, they have those certificates with them.
you purchase mold blanks or do you make the
Yeah, we purchase the small base, the base that we purchase because those blank that we can produce import from China is more cost effective.
So export-wise, most of your business is right now domestic, right?
Before we used to send it to Germany and Netherlands, and that is for automotive parts. You can see some of the parts here, and then the rest was for the local automotive industry as well, and also for Japanese company, Sony, Hitachi. This is for the Japan company, Toto.
and then probably if you bought a mold, you put it probably in a Malaysian factory if you bought a mold hand rather than ship it to USA.
In terms of the R&D capabilities that you have with the team, if a client just have an idea, can you reverse engineer some products?
Yes, some customer require us to use CMM. Some they use the scanner to reverse engineering.
And after you have the team that can do the drawings.
But the scanning process will be do externally.
Thank you for the facility too. Your factory is very well organized. Things are very well in place. QC testing lab. So I think this is very interesting to see also the ranges of products and then the end customers. So here is after the first day visiting factories here. It was pretty interesting. We have been to a plastic factory in the morning, so doing a lot of parts. They work in the automotive sector. They work also in consumer goods, as well as in all the medical devices. So they have clean room and they have very recent and then super high standard facilities with high certificates as well. So matching all the standards and then requirements for foreign markets such as Europe or the US. They have actually quite a lot of export experience. They've been exporting a lot to the US, to Europe, but still since COVID, we see that the mood is a bit more slow compared to previous COVID, but still a very good factories to consider. They're actually the tier 3 of a lot of the US car manufacturers. They have said the name about Tesla, they have said the name about Ford and other premium car manufacturers, similar for Europe as well. And they are one of the direct suppliers of Dyson as well. So basically pretty legitimate and big brands that they are currently providing part of the silicon products, plastic and rubber as well. So very high quality product that you can get with very high standard. And then if you have seen the premises of this factory, everything is very well maintained. Everyone can speak good English. So this is something that will be very different from what you can see in Vietnam. Obviously, on the price point perspective, cost of labor here in Malaysia is higher than in Vietnam. And because most of the raw materials are also imported, it will make the end product quite significantly more expensive than what you can find in Vietnam. But still, for a perspective of diversification outside of China, if you are looking for resilience, diversifying your current supplier network, Malaysia makes a lot of sense, and plastic is one of the sector. And then the second factory that we visited this afternoon is actually doing mold. So they work also a lot in the automotive sector, and then all the spare parts that require injection molded. This factory is specialized to make mold. Some molds that are going to same brands like Dyson, for instance, will cost around 100,000 US dollar. Other molds, they mentioned some molds for the toilet. For instance, they work for the Japanese brand Toto. Those molds will also cost around 100,000 US dollar. And then other molds that are on the smaller scale will be around 50,000 US dollar. So still significant investments, but you also can rely on all the engineer team that they have in-house with quite a huge capacity as well. What was interesting from this factory is that they have injection plant inside as well. So meaning that when you are creating the mold, they can run some batch of 100, 500 pieces just to try the mold. So if you're also in the ramp-up phase and then you need to make the mold and also go to production fast, then you have a factory that can be doing both. You make the mold, you test it, and then they will be basically able to provide you the injected parts. And from this, you can see if you want to raffinate the mold, and because they have in-house team that can fix it, then you rely on one partner that can do everything. And of course, after when you go and to production, and then when you have mass production, then you need to find the partner that will be able to inject is such mold. But the machine that they have a very high scale, so it's very suitable for all the automotive parts, and then parts that will be more than 1 meter. I have seen some mold 1.70 meter, etc. So pretty huge mold for all the big scale injected parts. So yeah, as a wrap up of today, pretty interesting. We met very interesting people as well, both factory owners. We had a chance to have meeting with them. We could be taken in all the premises of the factories, and we had time to really discuss about our client project. Pretty good first day. I will leave actually below in the description more detail about our product and services, as well as more videos from this round trip that we are taking in Malaysia. Again, we are here for the whole week, and we have around 10 meetings booked already. And we're going to visit as well a trade show that is more dedicated for electronic vehicle automation. So we're going to be able also to see all the latest trends and all the manufacturers that are really innovating, because Malaysia is known for that, is known for those type of industry that require high tech, high advanced machinery and highly innovative type of products. And I'm actually very looking forward to day 2, because tomorrow we're going to visit electronic type of manufacturers here in Kuala Lumpur as well. So more in the PCBA type of manufacturing. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up, and then I see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Down and I'ma get it right, dead on sight like